started 8 years ago. I left Hartford Hospital back in 2004, and in 2005 I came here and I worked here as the Rosarian, and I'm still their Rosarian here. Although I don't get paid anymore, I work for barter. It's way better, trust me, way better. I'm like a kid in a candy store. But anyway, back in the spring of 2007, it was just 8 years ago, I was in my rose house, which is over here, and it was still covered at the time because it was a cool spring. And there's always plenty of stuff to do in the rose house. We have about 1,000 roses. They all get pruned, they all get watered, they all get cared for. And I was all by myself, and it's a really good time to, you know, think problems over and whatever. And a young lady walked into my rose house, and she was obviously pretty upset, and we spent the whole morning together, and she told me that her mom had just passed away, and her dad used to grow roses for her mother, and she said her mother loved roses so much that she was going to plant a rose garden for her mom. So we, like I said, spent the whole morning together. Gail had roses 101 that day. By the time she went home, she had enough roses to plant a nice rose garden and everything that she needed to get stuff up and running. And when she was on her way out of the rose house, she said, "Is there a rose named Marion? Because that was my mother's name." And I said, "Gee, I don't know." I said, "Let me check into it." And as it was, I found out that there was indeed a couple of roses named Marion, but they were old ramblers that only bloomed once and would climb up into your trees and stuff. And that wasn't something that she was looking for. So time went on, and we'd run into each other here once in a while, or at Buckland Hills Mall once in a while, and I tell her, "I'm still looking, I'm still looking." And then we lost Donna Fuss, and I went to the park when they asked me to come, and I had to break down and get a computer. I had never had one before, and I had reports to write and stuff, and I thought to myself, what would be the best place to get a Marion rose from? You know, David Austin, all of his roses have something to do with English history. And so I wrote an email to David Austin, UK, and I wrote in this email all about my lovely customer and how she was looking for a rose named after her mother to help soothe her broken heart. And I said, I thought of you immediately, and I was wondering if maybe you had something out in your shed that possibly didn't have a name yet. And how about starting a Sherwood Forest series? You know, Robin Hood, a Friar Tuck, and Sherwood Forest, and Maid Marion. I said, that would make us very happy because that's Gail's mother's name. So I never really expected anything to happen from that, and I got an email back really quickly from Michael Marriott, who is the head Rosarian in the UK for David Austin. Really nice guy. We've gotten to be very good friends over the years. And he said, well, you know, everything's got a name for this year already, and he said it's something we can think about though, but I'd have to check copyright laws and blah, 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 and ta-ta, so lovely to hear from you, and that was the end of it. And I thought I would never hear anything again. Well, right around Valentine's Day, which by this time it was 2010, I got an email from Michael saying, congratulations, Maid Marion is being introduced at Chelsea in May. And so I got really excited, and I'm like, oh, and then it dawned on me that I didn't know what Gail's last name was. So I called Carrie here at Woodland Gardens. She takes care of all the IT stuff, and she sends out all the emails and everything. And I said, I have awesome news. My customer's name is Gail, and I'm not sure what her last name is, but I've got to, you know, if you could send out an email to everybody named Gail. And just tell them that Marcy has news about your rose, and give them all my email address. I think it was within minutes I heard back from Gail Sawamura, and she said, what's up? And I told her what happened, and she was so excited. So we thought at that time we were going to have to wait 2 years to get the rose. And there's a 2-year quarantine period for anything that comes into the United States from overseas. And then what happened was they had a problem with the budding that went on in Tyler, Texas, and so we had to wait another 2 years. So here we are. We started in 2007, Now we're in 2015, and today's the day that I get to present Gail with Maid Marion. Where'd she go? On the end. On the end out here. So, Gail, here's your rose, named after your mom. And just when you plant it, make sure you plant it really deep. Because this is where it got budded on, and we want to protect that bud union. So when you plant it about this deep in a nice sunny spot, and she will smile on you.
What color, Marcy?
I want you to look towards me, though. I want you to face the back. Lower the bush just there. Nice smile.
So many things.
How about a picture with the what the rose is going
Would
to
you
look
like
like?
to say something?
Yes, I would.
Okay, shall we put it down? Gail would like to say something. Everybody, can we have a nice big welcome for Gail Sullivan?
This is what I was like that day. And I came here and I don't even like roses. I didn't then.
Oh, throw her out of
I
here.
didn't. I was like a wildflower girl. I was like, roses were too fussy. And after talking to Marcy, she was like, the roses were like her little kids, and you know, like this is, I don't know the name, and then like she is like
towards
this,
me, Marcy.
and she would describe all of her roses and like they were people. And that's how I started liking roses, because of her. And she was so warm and caring, and I mean, I don't spill my guts to strangers all the time. But
Well, I could never forget it, and I could never forget you. And so now, here she is.
well, it definitely helped me heal from my mom's death, and this is just like amazing. And she was the one that made it all happen.
I'm so happy to see you again. Please come over to my garden.
Hey,
I would love to.
Love to have you. Do you have one of my cards?
You gotta use this.
Oh,
Oh, the roses.
do you want the rose here too?
I don't know if that's gonna be it. Just a